Hey everybody, this is the WooFDriver coming to you live after midnight, and we are starting our midnight mushing. If you excuse me for 1 second, I'm just going to make sure everybody can hear me, so I have to check that on the other phone. I got 26 things going on, but we got a really a good plan in store for you tonight, and I hope you had a chance to careful. Hope you had a chance to check out some of our other live programming tonight. It's been awesome. And Rhett's my co-pilot on scene. Tonight's not going to be so much of a werewolves hunt, but okay, I see we got us live. I'm just checking the volume. Okay, good, we got it. So tonight's not going to be so much of a werewolves run. It's really going to be a midnight mushing run. It's absolutely beautiful out here. Temperatures in the probably low 70s. Nice breeze going. Of course, no sun, so we're not going to get heated up by that. And no humidity, it feels like. What's that? Okay, low humidity. So I'm going to jump in the driver's seat here. You can see the wolf pack's all loaded up and ready. Crispy's got us into position. You want to help you? Kind of didn't think about this. Okay. Easy, guys. Haul over. Okay. So, headlights on. Let me put that on. Sorry, Red. We're using high-power headlights and all kinds of stuff. And as we get on the trail, I'll be able to talk to you more. We've never actually been on this part of the trail, so we don't know what we're in store for. Tell me when you guys are ready. Okay, good. So you're watching some pretty incredible stuff, and you do not have your IRs on, but it's looking fine. You don't need them, I don't think. Okay, we ready? We need your help, Chris. We need your help crossing the street. Come on, guys. To the right.
Yeah, and then you got to go up.
G. Water and G. Okay, folks, so getting a real treat tonight. This is an unbelievable evening. Probably one of the greatest, the temperature-wise, that we've mushed for a summer night. I mean, it's just fantastic. Coming at you, Chris. Am I clear? Okay. The only one missing tonight is Gigi. Okay. Okay. So, can you turn that off a splink? Thanks. Okay, folks. So, easy, boys. So I just squeezed through it. You probably can't see this now because I just remember Red has the camera, but we are. Watch Princess. How's she look back there? Watch Princess. She likes to tangle up. Okay, Rhett, you're filming. Great. Folks, what a great. Hey, do you have that? Do you have it hooked up so you can charge the phone when you need to, Rhett?
I have the hookup, yeah.
Okay. It's on board for sure, right? Okay. Come on, pretty. Let this car pass. Princess is really... Folks, when dogs kick up, I don't know if you could see her. Here we go. Hike. When they kick up dirt like that, they're feeling pretty good. It's like a sign like, yeah, I'm tough, I'm bad. That's the way they do it. So we're on this trail right now. You're watching us. I believe this is the Perkins Trail, and we're not near Philadelphia, but we're towards that direction. We are in Pennsylvania, and really incredible. Last time you saw us doing this, we were midnight mushing as well, and we were with our paranormal expert, Curtis Weimer. Curtis is not with us tonight, but he will be back on board next week. We're doing a ghost hunt. Tonight, we're just getting the dogs out. They need to run, and we're giving it to them. So we're probably going to have a bathroom stop soon. That's what they do, folks. Probably going to be some wild animals out here, too, so we got to be cautious and alert, as well as trying to keep everybody informed of what. Oh, pooper, ho. What's that? Oh, you got the bike? Okay. So Chase, for those of you that are with us, is a master at getting this harness off. That's what he does. So how did he do this one? He's good at it. Okay, we see where he's at now. And we're just going to hook it back. Usually it happens when you're sitting still. When we're going, he's not going to be doing anything with it. He's just a chewer, and he likes to be entertained if he's not there. Okay. She good? Come on, pretty. Here we go. Hike. So I don't know if you come on. Come on. I don't know if you called us last time, folks, but we went into the house. Come on, Zaro. That had some paranormal. We had paranormal experiences, and we knew there was paranormal activity going on there. And you may not believe in it, but we got a lot of proof. So check us out when you can. Check out some of our videos from that run. Truly amazing. Going through some gates here. In any case, if you watch the videos, you'll see what they call orbs. Orbs are like almost camera light iterations. We're watering the poles here, folks. Dog's going to the bathroom. Watch, Princess. Come on, guys. So whenever we go through a gate, the dogs, of course, like to mark it. And just for your knowledge, come on. The higher up they mark it, usually, the taller they can project themselves. So therefore, they can say, oh, I'm bigger than any other dog that's going to be here. And other dogs should concede. They're going to control the area. That's what that's all about. Plus, they're getting the story of the scent of what other animals have marked there. Come on. So that happens, and we usually let them water the gates, for lack of a better description. We usually let them mark the territory because, this run is for them and for them to do what they want to do. Now, this is really dark back here, folks. If you're looking through a night vision camera, got another bathroom stop. So, oh, cool. Read them to me, Alice. Hey, Kathleen. I told you we're hardcore. We don't stop for nothing. The thing is, the later we can go, especially, come on, guys, especially this time of year. Roxanne, thank you so much. Pamela, we are in Pennsylvania, probably I'm going to say 50 miles outside of Philadelphia, but still on the countryside. We have actually mushed through Pennsylvania, through Philadelphia before. We're hoping not to get to the city limits here, and we won't be tonight, but gotta be a little cautious because when you get to a crowded area, you have traffic to contend with. Rhett, can you catch a mile marker here? Just so 49. Okay, so we're scheduled, folks, for 10 to 20 miles. Probably going to shoot for 15. We'll see how the dogs feel, how everything's working tonight. This trail is just perfect width, and the material, the substrate seems to be a dirt with a little bit of pebble or stone, and really comfortable for the dogs. Very dry, which is great. Great to keep the bike moving. So Kathleen, oh, I thought I had a deer jump out. Sorry. Kathleen was mentioning, yeah, we do. We're a lot of people say, well, you're just doing that so you can get your ride in, me. Well, I'm doing this for the dogs. That's why I'm out here too in the morning. It's folks, to be quite frank with you, this is a full-time job. I love it. But, getting the dogs, this breed especially, the exercise they need, the psychological animal on the trail. Okay, where at, Rhett? Okay, easy, guys. Is that it? I'm looking at the... Okay, we think we have an animal, so I have to pay attention here, folks. Lots of high grass around. Did it go, or is it to the right? Can you tell what it is? No, it's a reflector. Okay. Okay, come on, guys. And back here, we're really in the countryside. Come on. Now, this looks like an access to something. Again, folks, we're not familiar with this trail, so this is a little gutsy, to say the least. What we are riding in, I'm not sure if you're familiar with a recumbent bike. A recumbent bike is a bike that's built, actually you don't have to balance it, so they usually have 3 or 4 wheels. This one has 4 wheels, and it's very low to the ground, and it's made for people, usually because it puts you in a better position to pedal. So especially people that have bad backs or knee issues find it much more comfortable to ride like this. We use it because we're getting older ourselves, and we get some knee and back issues as well. In addition, it helps keep us dog level. So we're down with the dogs, which they love, and we can monitor them closer as well and see how they're doing at all times. Now, you notice, Lexi, that the dogs are on the side of us. They're not in front of us. Traditional sledding or mushing, the dogs are out in front. This design is very limited. You won't find it much. A few people are doing it. I'm one of the pioneers to do it first because it keeps you a little more, even though we have a wider footprint, we're a little wider, it eliminates the dogs from being on a rope out in front, and then you not having as much control. So if there's other people on the trail, they could meander left or right, and you might come into a situation where it would be hard to run down a trail because you wouldn't be able to control that, how much they went to either side. Whereas right now they're on a short tether, but a comfortable enough, and they can actually, they don't have to pull in this position as well. They can actually just trot along, they can run, or they could pull. They're on a special attachment on the side of the bike called a Springer. I've used a Springer for many years. It's a company, I believe, out of Norway, but they distribute them in the United States. And it's basically a big spring. And what the spring does is it lets the dog know when it's getting to the end of the tether, so it doesn't jerk them or jerk against the bike. And if they prefer, they can run the spring to full extension and basically pull the cart if they desire. Pull the sled on wheels, we like to say. So I hope that answered your question. A great question. Car? What's that? Paul? Hey, Paul, thanks so much for dropping in. You're in Vegas, so it's 3 hours earlier. So I think if it's 2 in the morning here, Big Hill, folks, I got to pay attention here. What's this say? Warning, cyclists dismount. Steep grade and road crossing. Okay, Rhett, you ready to put your...
Yeah, you see that road crossing right at the bottom?
Yeah, you ready to put your brakes on your feet?
Yeah.
If need be, just grab the wheel. Okay? So we got a steep... I remember on some of this trail... Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, boys. Easy, boys. Do you think you should get off, or... Yeah, you probably should. Yep. So we're going to... Sure. Yes, you'll be fine. So Rhett's going to go down to the bottom, folks. He'll give you a view of me and the dogs. What we want to do is be careful here because, according to the sign, again, we haven't been to this trail. This is... Do I have enough room to... So I'm just taking my time. Rhett's checking out the situation and also making sure it's secure enough for us to proceed. Okay. Sometimes some of these, they're called bollards. What they are, they're poles on the trail, for lack of a better description, that keep vehicles out of these trails. Oh, great! And we've this isn't our first rodeo, folks. So we've been able to discover that some of these bollards or poles don't always, they're removable. So the park ranger can get their vehicles up here, and sometimes they're locked and sometimes they're not, and we just came upon one that wasn't. I'm just putting my feet down to really, the thing that wears out the most on these bikes are the brakes. You can hear them there. Okay, sorry for the loudness. How my dogs in the back look? Come on, guys. Yes. Yep. What are you going to do? Yep, what are you going to... Okay, folks, so right now we got to head across the trail to the other side. We're going to cross a road. The road is, of course, not much travel right now, but it is a double yellow-lined road. You want me to proceed at you? Okay, what happens? Okay, so we just learned we have to go uphill. So we have a motor on board, folks. I didn't explain that. If you just tuned in, I believe it's Lexi, had asked what we're riding, and this recumbent bike is custom built for our application, and we do have a motor on it as well. So Rhett's trying to see if any of these are undone. We're hoping they are. Yes, and he got one. Beautiful. Don't know if you can see that. Sorry, folks. Okay, you want to grab this or you want me to? Okay, you want me to? Okay, here we go. Watch me. Okay, folks, this is happening live. This is a little wild, but what would you expect from the WooFDriver? Okay. Okay, you better get behind me. Okay, so we want to be careful here because a lot of strain on the bike, and we don't want to.
Watch that hole.
My strap.
Stay closest to Zara, that hole on Zara.
Where's the hole? Oh,
Your tires up there, right into it.
yeah. You think we should back up?
Okay.
Come on, guys, back up. Dogs know how to back up too, folks. Okay, ready? Huh? Watch Chase on the hole, and watch the back dog on the hole. Come on, guys. Watch the back dog on the hole. Are you gonna push me up or? Okay, folks. Bless you, bless you. So, we're trying to, because it's such a steep hill, rents out of the bike. And, okay, easy, guys. That was awesome, folks. So I'm sorry if we had to take our attention off the camera, but we got a lot going on. I'm showing you Chase right now. What just happened? Did you put the gate ballot back? Okay. I'll give you this when you sit down. What just happened? We went through a set of these pylons, as I was explaining, these gate dividers to keep cars and big vehicles off of here. Good. Here we go. Hike. And there's two sets because it crosses a road. So as you can understand, it intersects the trail. So the first set we crossed over, we went down a hill, a steep hill. Rhett got out of the bike. So we're on the trail on something, folks. They picked up on a scent, so we're moving now. We're going to max out. When we're moving like this, we can max out at speeds of up to 15 miles per hour. So we've got to keep tuned in here. We're looking for eyes, basically, because what's that? Okay, we're doing some turns. Beautiful trail. I mean, we are deep in the woods. So we crossed that road, and then we had to go up a hill. So what they say, what goes up must come down. So we went down, and then we had to go up. And we don't want to stretch the motor out too bad on here. Real steep hills can do that. So Rhett was off the bike, and he was actually pushing a little bit. Dogs don't feel the load at all, but they actually get to climb the hill with the bike, and that's good exercise for them. If we went too hard, the motor should protect itself and cut off so it doesn't overheat, they call it, and therefore burn up, and then we'd have no motor, and we'd be not in as good a shape as we are now. If it cuts off, we can reset it, but if it burns up, we're done. We usually carry extras with us, but we'd have to get our support vehicle, Crispy, to meet us, and it'd be a lot of work. But that's what we do. As we know, we're out here 2 a.m, and we do whatever it takes. We're trying not to see the sunrise. We're trying to be done before the sunrise, just because it's a long day, a long night for us. But wherever it takes us, however the dogs run, and whatever's presented to us. We've got just about a mile, and we always carry, I'll say this again, 5 gallons of water, and we've got watering bowls, and dogs get their drinks in, and everything's good. This trail is awesome, folks. And I wanted to tell you how I found this trail, because I belong, as you can imagine, to all kinds of trail finder apps and programs, but really Facebook's great in this facet as well, because I'm a member of Rails to Trails, and Rails to Trails are what a lot of these trails are. They're old railroads where they've taken them up and they've gotten funded to make walking trails or biking, hiking like we're on now, and people mention they're on trails. When they go, they like to log it, because the group I'm in, the Rails to Trails, and someone mentioned this trail, and I know the surrounding states to Maryland. Right now we're in Pennsylvania. Obviously, anything in Pennsylvania could be accessible to me in Maryland, and that's how we wound up here. So that was the first time we've been to. This is, from what I understand, I haven't looked at it during the day. We just made this decision when we got in the car tonight. But we're pretty spontaneous, because everything is somewhat weather dependent. I mean, we're trying not to get soaked, and we certainly don't want to be in the middle of heavy thunderstorms. We've gone out in the rain, but we try to avoid it where possible. And because we're in an area where we can go almost any direction, north, south, east, or west. So when we find a direction we look that is pretty clear of storms, we try to go in that direction and then look for trails. We try to do new trails every time. I mean, that's a little challenging at this point. I've been doing this for 20 years, but traveling these further distances is just in the past 5 years. We've actually gone to the Cape Cod Rail Trail in Massachusetts, to the Erie Canal in New York. We're pretty mobile, and we've got the truck to do it. Picking up a little bit on a scent here, folks. A lot of times we'll pick up on a scent, we won't see an animal. These wild animals are pretty hip to dogs or wolves or coyotes, which they associate the dogs with here, so they're usually out of the way. Yep, we just crossed the 1 mile marker, folks. A little better than a mile. They're pretty hip to the dogs' scent, and they usually get out of the way because pretty much anything out here, the dogs are considered predators too, even though obviously we're not hunting and they're not going to be coming in contact with anything. There are coyotes out here, which they wouldn't be predators to us, but they would be more competition for the dogs in the wild. And there's also bear. So we've seen bear, we've seen coyotes, and we just take the proper precautions. The dogs can usually pick up on the scent if something's ahead. Now, nighttime's a little harder, not for their smelling sense, but for seeing it. And sometimes we can pick up on the visual aspect easier at night because of the lights we're using. We turn the headlights on us, and it reflects off the eyes. The eyes are almost all of every creature's got iridescent eyes in some way. So we're coming to another crossing. Bummer we're hitting all these crossings, but good thing that they're seem. I think I can go. You want to check it? Might as well check it. Looks a little tight. Yeah. No, if you're good. Yeah, bummer that we're hitting a bunch of road crosses. They're small roads. We're hearing a little bit of cars here and there, but we're not really seeing any. So, they're locked? Okay. So you want to watch me? What are you thinking? Okay. So we're going to come through real slow, and you can watch us. How we do this, folks. They've got a rock that Red is sitting on, and the dogs are really good at narrow spaces because that's what we do. I don't think so. You want to take Zorro off?
Take Zorro.
Or Chase?
That's a tough call.
Okay, remember he's going to want to walk with me, so hold him back. Come on, Chase. Chase, now. Chase, come on, good boy. Good boy.
All right,
Good boy.
hold up. One
Yep.
second.
Take your time. So what we did was we just unhooked Zorro. He's right there. Oh, sorry. I'm shining the thing at me. I'm sorry. I apologize, folks. We just unhooked Zorro because we went through one of these ballards again with a rock on one side. Okay, so I'm going to go forward?
Yeah, but go towards Zorro.
Okay. Watch Jag.
Come on, Jake.
Which side's he on? He's on the wrong side. You want me to get off and do it?
I can go.
Okay. Good?
Poor Jake. He's a little scared. Hold on.
Yep, okay. So Jag's a little intimidated by this scene. You putting her on?
I'm putting her back on.
Great. Is she through?
No.
Okay. Good boy, Jag. So you got to be a little creative sometimes, folks, how you do this. And this is why I wear the vest I do, because I could hook the dogs to the vest at any time if I had to. But, okay, Jag still on my side, still on the right side. Come on, Jag. Tell me when. Okay. This one's a little wider, Rhett. It looks. You want to take this and so you can give the folks a view? Folks, another thing I wanted to mention to you. You're going to trip him up. See, walking backwards trying to film. There's not even a road crossing. Okay. Come on, guys. Hike. Another thing I wanted to mention is that we're filming using night vision equipment, military spec, really high-end stuff. This is Generation 3, if you're familiar with it. And you'll notice we do our regular midnight mushing runs. Come on, guys. Back dogs, give me a location. Come on. How's Jag?
Looking good.
Come on, Jag.
Looking good.
Jag's good?
Looking good. Everybody looking good.
Through?
Through.
Okay, folks. Let's give him a little water here, Rhett. Give me the camera and I'll film you. Okay, folks, I'm going to film you and check questions. What we're going to do is give him some water now. So basically, I wanted to let you know, when we do our midnight mushing runs, you'll see I said we're using a high-end night vision equipment. This one is actually one of the latest. As you can see, it's broadcasting almost in black and white. Last week, you may have noticed, we were actually using a green and white camera, and the green and white is actually a little older of a technology, but they make it green because green, supposedly, the human eye can see the most shades of. So you actually get a little more detail. But with the black and white, you get a little better of a contrast. So I just try to mark the videos. By the way, all the videos are in, all these live videos are in the All Dog Network library. They're archived there. So if you go to that website, it's in its infant states, because in its infancy, I should say, because we just started that website and we're just getting this live broadcasting down to a science here. So if you go to that website, you'll be able to go and see all the broadcasts we've done and check them out and search them. They're organized in categories because they're really hard to find on Facebook because they just stick in your feed or they're in your video section, but there's so many of them. And it's a wonderful way to check it out. You can see Zaro drinking now. I'll try to check. So shout out. Let me see. Kathy, thank you so much. And I'm going to have Rhett read the rest when he gets it in his control, just because I don't have my reading glasses on. Got my contacts in. I wear contact lenses, and Chase is waiting good for his water. And we usually water folks every 2 to 5 miles. When we first start out, sometimes we'll give an earlier watering. We're just, like I said, about 1.5 miles now. And we do that because the dogs they have water bowls in the truck, but they're usually very excited and don't drink in there as much. So when they get out to the trail, they might be thirsty to begin with. So not Jack, he's not drinking any. Really glad you're with us, folks, and that's Princess right there drinking. So this is really cool stuff if you think about what's going on here. We're live on a trail in the middle of the night, mushing somewhere in Pennsylvania. We're not quite sure where. And we could run into anything at any given time, any kind of animal. And the dogs are having the time of their life. And you're witnessing this unfold anywhere in the world live. Pretty cool stuff. If you have any questions or comments, please, by all means, go ahead and ask them. And we're going to be on our way in the next couple minutes. We'll give anybody who says gives us a comment down there, we'll try to give you a shout out to as well. Are you okay getting in without
Yeah, I just want to have
two lights?
because
Okay. There we go. I'm going to give the camera back to Rhett and read me some names when you can so I can give shout outs too if there's any questions as well. You guys ready? Come on, guys. Hike. So how much did the dogs drink, Rhett?
pretty good amount.
Pretty good amount. Okay. So that's great. That just re-energizes them and gives them a little rest break. Sometimes when we stop for these breaks, they're antsy and we can only stop for a few minutes and they start getting pretty vocal and pretty anxious, so we're quick to go. In the warmer months, obviously it's a little slower. They're a little slowed down. And that brings me to a point where a lot of people will ask, well, why do you run them in the summer? Why do you run them in the warmer months altogether? And the reason being is they need their exercise for not only physical engagement, but for psychological reasons as well. It's healthy for them always around. Now, the biggest problem is dogs altogether, they're inefficient at cooling. So that's why we're contending with the heat. But taking measures such as going in the middle of the night, because we're in the cool of the night, is a great way to beat the heat, essentially. It doesn't mean that it's cool to them like in the fall or winter, but it's tolerable and lets them get in their enjoyment of running. It's very important. Now, I see a light down there. Did you just see that?
No, I was pointing back at Princess.
Okay, I did see a light down there, folks. And it was a quick shining, so a little concerned, but it looked like somebody shined a light at us, but it was only for a second, so stay tuned, folks. You never know what we're going to run into. Didn't really look like a reflection. I've been doing this for a while. Could be wrong, but there could be other bikers out here as well. But who knows? Stay tuned, you'll find out. Again, because we're not as familiar with this trail, we're not sure. Could be a car, light. It did look like a single light, but it could have been a car traveling as it would cross the trail, possibly. So, no need to be too concerned yet. I guess I should probably figure out location in case somebody can send us some backup. Now we do have our support vehicle. Chris B is monitoring us as best he can. We have satellite communications as well as you see, cell phone, because that's how we're broadcasting to you now. Hey, give me some people. What's going on the feed?
Kathy Storm says beautiful animals.
Who says that?
Kathy Storm.
Hey, Kathy, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Paul says nice job.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. Yeah, by all means, folks, please give us comments, questions, anything you may have. I realize this is probably not something you thought you were going to see. Now, my normal people who are catching us, regular WooFDriver fans, know that we do some pretty spontaneous stuff, and especially in the warmer months, you might catch us out here in the middle of the night. And a lot of our programming, we're doing a lot of live broadcasting on the WooFDriver channel, the WooFDriver page. And that broadcasting is, a lot of it's pre-planned. Dog trainers, animal communicators, authors. We hope to have some dog yoga classes on there soon. Really, Facebook is an unbelievable forum with their live broadcasting technology to really offer everybody a wonderful way of interacting, for lack of a better description. So I like to keep everyone with a schedule of what we're going to do. This could have been the light I saw. It's more of a reflector, but I don't think that was it. I do think somebody's around here with some sort of car crossing. Now, if that is a marker, it's a mile marker. Yeah. Doesn't it seem awfully quick? 48? Where did we start, at 49? We started at, that's weird. I think that's double 48. I don't know. Because that would be 2 miles. I thought
it was 49.
He started, maybe it was 50. But no.
They might do a half mile.
They might do half mile, so maybe that is a mile. Okay, so scheduled programming, I can tell you when the dog trainer is going to be on, when the animal communicator is going to be on, and there's a couple dog trainers, and you can catch that. We're going to set a schedule that you're actually going to be able to see, hopefully on a weekly basis. Right now it's on a daily basis as I'll post them, but with my events you just don't know, because a lot of it depends on, again, conditions outside and what the dogs want to do, and what I've got up my sleeve. So yesterday, that's a weird pink ribbon just tied there. Now we're on a field, folks, and this is kind of wild, to say the least. Watch for dogs up at those places. And maybe that's the lights I saw. I don't know. So we're running through a field, and there seems to be a house up there. So we're always cautious when we see these houses. Thought that was a dog. Yep, got a bathroom stop. Thought that was a dog. That's a. It sounds like a big truck. Jake brake. They call them Jake brakes. I used to drive a big truck, so a Jake brake's like a brake retarder or a speed retarder to slow the truck down. But as a car, oh, that's weird. We got a car sitting here in the middle of the woods, folks. So hope we make it to the other side. What in the world is that car doing? Is that a street rat or? Okay, so we're just doing our thing, and hopefully it's a parking lot. But it seems like it's just in the middle of a field. Well, if someone jumps out and says hello, well, huh? Oh, so it's probably an area. Probably someone down there. It's a campsite. That's what it is. So we got a campsite, folks. That's what that was. But again, we're just totally unfamiliar with this trail, so I apologize on our uncertainty and lack of a description for some of this stuff. That's just appearing to us. Yeah, so if you got a chance, as I said, that a lot of this programming is spontaneous. What I do yesterday, I just decided we're training. If you haven't seen it, we have a 10-month-old, 10-pound Chinese Crested, which is a toy breed dog, very energetic. So we're letting her participate in some of these. We're teaching her some of these WooFDriver activities we do, and she's doing awesome. What it does is it helps her socialize with the big dogs. It introduces them and her together in a work-like environment, so they get a team sense of unity. That's how I train dogs. Usually try to put them on the same team, working towards a common goal, and get their attention. Yeah, we're going to jump out and check this area, folks. We're running into some more bollards. And thank you, sir. Yep. And get their attention off of the actual socialization to begin with. So they come out, they're like, oh, this is Chase, and sniff Chase, and then time to go. Because what that does is, this looks like this could be a difficult situation here, folks. Any shot of going to the right? Think we could do it? Okay, so what we're doing, if you look straight ahead, folks, and you see the bollards, the trail dividers to keep vehicles off. They're all locked, and they're really tight together in this spot. So Rhett's over to the right, and he's clearing away. We might be able to actually go to the right and not dismount, not take the dogs off of the bike, which just saves us time and a lot of shuffling. Okay. I'll let you film from behind. Okay. So okay. So I'm gonna drive and film, folks. Good boy. Tell me when.
Yeah, hold on. It's a little bit dippy in the front when you go up.
Shine your light there. Yep. G over.
But there's no real ditch or anything.
Whoa. Whoa, not really. You got it?
Yep. Ready?
Come on, guys. Dip here. Ready? Come on, guys. Hike. It's awesome. That's wolf driving, folks. That's how we make it through tough areas. Now we got another set. Could we go to the left? No, it's not. Does that cut in at all, Rhett? Yeah. Again, this is uncharted territory, folks. Kind of exciting. Now, could I go to the left? Is there anything? Could you to your left, Rhett? I'm saying, could I go to the left side and you take a couple of those weeds out? Yeah, there is. Come on, guys. So what are we gonna have to do? Okay, and we'll just do one dog. Okay, so you can see, folks.
Give chase all around.
Okay,
Stop.
okay, you take him. Okay, we're trying to unhook one dog at a time. Good boy, Chase. Yep, squeezed right through. There's an advantage for being thin. That was if you would have seen how thin that was, folks. You would have probably said, "Wow, that's Guinness Book of World Record stuff there."
All right, good.
Jag,
Yeah, just take him out.
how's Jaggy?
Um,
He's not.
yeah, you can keep going a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Jag's not as thin as Chase. More? More?
Yeah, as much as you can get.
Good boy. So, I'm trying to shine back there, folks. It's really tight bollards, but we didn't have to totally dismount. You can see once again, folks, this is our first rodeo. Sure. Any questions you may have, answer, please come to us. And Kathleen, I can't read your question, but I'm going to put red on it because, again, I got my contacts in. I apologize. But, Rhett, can you read me comments? Got one from Kathleen I'm trying to address.
Didn't you know about those posts?
Well, we don't know about all the posts. You ready? Some trails, are they good? Are they ready? Okay. Hike. Come on, guys. Some trails don't have any post. Some trails have really wide post. Some trails have just gates. And you never know till you get to a trail and you've run it before. We've never run this one before. But that's our biggest issue contending with. That's why these bikes are all built to 36-inch spec at the widest. This one is about the widest one I have. Some of them, the one bike I have is, I believe, 32 and a half. The ballarts, or the post, as you referred to them, which is correct, have to be, their minimum is 36. So theoretically, we should just be able to squeeze through it at 36 without the dogs when it's 36. Usually they give you a little leeway and they go 40, and believe it or not, we can squeeze through 40 inches with the dogs. So frog. Frog crossed our path and Chase didn't see it. So you just never know. And Red always gets out and checks them because sometimes, as I mentioned, and as you saw back there on a couple sets, they were unlocked. And we can just remove them and put them back the way we found them. So basically it's a crapshoot from trail to trail, from time to time, what you're going to get and how it's going to unfold. We've gotten to, occasionally, we've gotten to a place where we actually ran into steps. There were steps up and over a road instead of having gate dividers as ballarts, and we actually had to unhook all the dogs, put them on my vest, and Chris and Rhett walked the bike through. We had to wait for our support vehicle, Chris. So you just don't know. These trails are not as well marked on Google Maps, etc., and most people aren't riding them on a dog cart. So stuff like that is considered passable for most hikers or walkers or even bikes in some way, but they're not expecting you to have the dogs that we're doing in the situation we're doing. So it's kind of like we're on our own to find out what the trail's really about. But it's all good. We've got all the proper precautions built in, so they say, and we handle it as it goes. So right now, folks, I'm going to give you another brief description. I am the WooFDriver, driving my team of Huskies, 4 dogs right now, through a trail in Pennsylvania, probably somewhere 50 to 100 miles out of Philadelphia. Trail's a great surface. It seems to be actually dirt, maybe a little bit of stone mixed in there, light stone. Great for the dog's paws. It seems pretty dry. It might be a little moist in some areas, but not to the point where the bike is sinking into it, but enough to keep the dog's pads cool. It is rather cool for a summer evening out here. Virtually no humidity. Again, we're back in the woods and lower temperatures. Little bit of a breeze. I'm going to say 2-3 mile per hour breeze, wind blowing, and we've run into no wildlife as of yet. We are always on the lookout. We do have specialty IR cameras with us. And as you notice, we do also paranormal hunting. That's not what we're here for tonight because we're not aware of any paranormal areas around here. Usually what we'll do, we'll set out to do that with a paranormal expert. We went with him for the first time last week, which was awesome. And we hope to be with him next week as well. Last week we were on the CNO, and it was an abandoned house out there that's totally got lots of energy going on, and it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I didn't have a full cell signal, but I had enough that you could see what was going on, and it was just out of control, for lack of a better description. Those videos are all up on Facebook, as well as on the All Dog Network, ALLDOG Network. Now, that looks like eyes.
I think it's another
Set of gates? Yeah, because it looks like 4. I thought maybe it was a bear wearing glasses. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, we're hitting a lot of posts, so bummer when you hit all these posts. But we hopefully will get more into an urban setting, even though we seem back in the woods. But you usually find more posts and ballarts when there's more activity on the streets around them. But it's late at night. We haven't seen much activity, but they seem to be pretty quiet streets, but who knows? For some reason, they've got these gates and posts set pretty continuously. So, but we've managed to get through them without too many complications. And once in a while, we get lucky, as I said, and one of them are open. So this is what I really want to share with you, how incredible this experience is, because there's such a sense of adventure being on a trail that we've never been on before, but that is still, whoops, moth just flew into me, still well maintained, not like you're in the harsh wilderness. Wow. If you can give people a view of that, Brett, we've got like what looks like light pollution, maybe coming from the city of Philadelphia, way in the distance, lighting up part of the sky with a hill and some trees weeping at the crest of the hill. It's pretty awesome looking. So, but as I was saying, this is such an incredible experience because we're so quiet. You know, it's just the sound of the dogs, basically a little bit of sound of the bike when I use it's electric motor, but just a little bit of whine from it, and you can really get this surreal experience that you're out here adventuring in coordination with a team of dogs that are built for this kind of stuff. Okay, good boy. Little bathroom break there. And the bonding, lots of lightning bugs, folks. Really cool. They're lighting up this tree-lined area. It's awesome. But you get this surreal experience that it's truly incredible. It's really incredible. In fact, when I'm not doing this, we try to do this once a week. When I'm not doing this, I'm missing it. You know, if I walk outside and it's a night like tonight, I'm like, geez, I could be out on there on the trail with the dogs. Because they're ready to go at any time now. Doing all the activities we do, of course, I try to schedule this according to the load, how I can. Like, I anticipate a lot of times lately we've been going on Fridays. So our Thursday activity is usually limited to something pretty mild. So they're rested up. And the day after we do any of these activities, these long runs, we're usually rest for a day or two after. So this is a bridge. This is kind of strange, to say the least, because the poster on the outside, just letting you know there's a bridge there. Oh, and then, now how's this? I guess yeah, to the right, this gate. Now,
There still is one little post there that's not lit up.
yeah, I see that to the right, and it doesn't, it falls off a little bit. Yep, we should make this. Okay. How's my back, dogs? Sorry, kicks dirt. Come on, pretty. She good? Jag good? Come on, guys. Sorrow kicks dirt in Princess's face. I told you about that. When they start kicking dirt, they're feeling really good. It's just like, yeah, I'm tough. I'm better than you. It's like a tough guy just kicking it up, ready to rock and roll. And that's when you know they're feeling good and sowing their oats. So, folks, any questions you may have, we're right now, give them a shot of all this, right? You're getting as good a views in as you can. Yep. Yeah. Again, the night vision is so awesome. I mean, we're out here in the darkness, basically, and you're getting a view of it. But it's a little limited. It's a narrowed lens, and that's all they make for these. We've researched them high and low. So you can't get the full experience like you do during the day, a much larger view. But you can see the lay of the land, and, of course, a lot of dog views. But right now we're on the canopy is covering us pretty well. It's pretty thick through here. So I had a feeling we were going to head back to a little more of a sheltered area. And hopefully that's why those posts were easier to get through, because it's a little not as traveled, and they're not so much worried about people getting back here. Any more questions or comments?
Just Ethan said
Hey,
hey.
Ethan, welcome to the party. And I do call this a party. This is a celebration anytime we can get out with our dogs in any capacity. It's just awesome. So right now we feel like we're going a little uphill, so I'm giving it a little motor. They've actually, the trail's been fairly level, and they've actually been handling the load. You think that's a gate? You think that's post up ahead or eyes? I think it's post. Yeah, reflectors of some sort. Haven't heard many animals or anything. I'd like to. What's that? Oh, it's clear night. Yeah, stars are out. Yeah, I'd like to give you a better picture of where we are so you could look us up on Google Maps, but don't have that information yet. Letting you listen to the sound of the trails and get a little bit of knocking sometime from the bike. It's just the wheel spinning. You got to remember, there's a lot of stuff on this bike. Carrying 5 pounds of water, that's an easy 40 pounds in itself, and Rhett, myself. So this bike is really doing a tremendous job, and it's all balanced, relatively speaking. So the dogs can handle it. If they can't, certainly, as I said, they can just trot or walk with it, as well as the motor and pedals can assist. So we got a bench here. A lot of times in scenic areas, they'll place benches. Fortunately, we can't get a view of what they're looking at. It looks like there might be a waterway to our left, because it's fenced pretty good. Actually, it's fenced pretty good on the left and right, folks. Wow. This is a big river crossing, would you say, Rhett? Wow, yeah. Can I? Yeah, this is there any way you can give them a view of that, or is it not coming up? I don't know. That's probably not the Susquehanna.
No, it's probably Schuylkill River, right?
The Schuylkill River, that's it. Yep, Schuylkill River, that's it, folks. That's right. This is the Schuylkill River Trail, I believe, not the Perkman. Perkman's near here, too. But looks like this was an old railroad bridge, because I see the rusted out rail, guardrail, if you will, on the side, but then they have more modern fencing that probably is a little supports that guardrail. So this was pretty long. Yeah. And I think that's what I was reading on Facebook when someone posted it. Got a mile marker coming up, folks. I'll keep you posted. Looks like it's 47. Yep, 4700. Schuylkill River Trail. This is the Schuylkill. Now, pardon me, I'm not from Pennsylvania, but it's very hard to say Schuylkill. And you get, if you ask people from Pennsylvania, you might get a lot of different iterations of it. We've been on the Schuylkill River before on the trails that surround it, as I was saying, I believe the Perkman. And I remember we were doing a WooFDriver tour. This is what I call this when I get out with the dogs and go to these, venture out to these trails that are a ways from the house. And I remember asking, there was a police officer, how do you say Schuylkill? Because I was trying to describe the video, and he was kind enough to tell us, and it sounded different than I was saying. So, got their own way of talking here in Pennsylvania. Pretty cool, though. So this bridge, how long would you say that was? Was that like, what's that, over a quarter mile? Yeah. Yeah, good description there. And looks like we've got a couple bollards at the end, but it looks like they might be manageable without too disembarking. Yeah, this looks pretty wide.
Jennifer says hello.
Who does?
Jennifer?
Jen, how are you? Thanks for joining the party here. You are on WooFDriver Live. Any questions, comments, anything, keep them coming at us. Okay. Come on, guys. Yeah, we got this one. Come on, Chase. Good boy. Back dogs.
Come on, buddy. Come on.
Princess is a little difficult. Got her? Jagged?
Got good.
Okay, come on, guys. Hike. So, Princess, she's a diva. She is the princess. And she moves to the beat of her own drum, so she'll doesn't care if she's going to go on the other side of the gate or not. She wants to get the scent in or mark the area, and it's our job to make sure that she's in the right position. The other dogs seem to naturally know. No matter how much we do it with her, I think she knows, but I think she wants to take her where her nose goes. That's most important for her. And just like anything else, you get to know your dog's personality, and their body posture is the most important. Tell you a lot of how they're feeling and what they're thinking. And that's how you do everything. I'm looking up in the tree. I thought maybe we had an owl. What's that, Red? Is that anything? That was weird. Wasn't living, though.
Nah.
Some kind of weird marking. So really nice. The trail's a little wider here. And same substrate, seems to be a dirt, maybe a little bit of pebble. And good tree canopy over us. And we're rock and rolling. You're live with the WooFDriver on the Schuylkill River Trail. This is another one of those markers?
Most of the property signs that are old.
Oh, okay. Huh, that's probably... This is July, actually 2nd now, because we're after midnight, folks. And I like to say the date and where we're at, because I love sharing this with everybody, but one of my other main purposes is to document all this so I can look back on it sometime and say, what a great experience. That was the coolest thing in the world, and remember this stuff forever, because it's truly epic. Everything about it, and it takes a lot of work on our part to arrange these trips and to have all the proper equipment and to keep everything. Is this something in the middle of the trail?
That's a leaf, so something maybe way up ahead.
Okay.
There, but way up ahead.
Okay. Always better to have four eyes here. That's another reason Rhett's here to help. He can look out, I can look out. Because, again, we're at night, and he may see something I don't, or vice versa. Especially in the middle of the trail at night. We've actually come to porcupines, and pretty slow moving, and they'll actually turn around so their quills are facing you, because I see that, but looks pretty steady to be an animal, more like a reflectors or a gate. And the porcupine, because it turned around, it's kind of a little bit unidentifiable. It blends into the trail a little bit, and they're slow, and it just kind of stood there. And Red actually had to get off the dog bike and shoo it out of the area. It's somebody's house. Watch for dogs, Rhett. People's houses. And actually, you want to be careful going through areas because it's late and people don't know what we're doing, especially with this vehicle we're on with the dogs and everything else.
I thought that was goose.
Fake goose? Oh, no kidding. Wow. Oh, yeah, I see him right there. Fake goose right on the trail fence. You never know. You're at night, and a lot of places will have chickens and roosters and other animals, other farm-like animals. What's that say, Rhett? Crime alert? Oh, that's good. Hope that wasn't for this trail. Sometimes some of these trails go through some rough areas, so this doesn't seem to be, but we've run into a little bit of some shady characters here and there, so that's another thing we're on alert for. You wouldn't think it, though, as you're really back in the country, but again, we're not sure where the trail's going to take us fully. Chris is scoping it out. He's probably actually, yeah, what was it? Boing, yeah. Spokes look fine now?
Yeah, it seems to be going straight.
Cool. We've got to watch it because these wheels, as I told you, there's a lot going on this bike, and the spokes support a lot of the weight here, as you can imagine. And I didn't know this before I was into all this, but the spokes actually sometimes can become loose, and if you lose enough spokes, the wheel can pop off. We've had that happen. So what are we going under, dude? What's this?
Yeah, I thought that was eyes.
Yeah, it's a reflector. We're going under a bridge, folks. And it's a little unidentifiable up here, so excuse me if I look around here. It said crime alert, so be on the lookout, Rhett. Yeah, we're under a pretty good-sized bridge, folks. I was checking the trail. I put my foot down because it looked like it was paved here, but it's not. It's still that dirt substrate. Yeah, so, there's a lot of moving parts on here, even though this is a bike-like apparatus. There's a lot of parts that can go bad. So we're usually in a state, what's it say,
48 again.
46 and a half. So it is every half mile we're getting a mile marker. So that means we've got 2.5 miles in, folks, a little better. Yeah, it's a constant work to maintain all this equipment. So as you can imagine, none of this is mass-produced for doing what we're doing with it. Urban mushing, for lack of a better description. Therefore, we've got to maintain it. We've got to constantly be in search of replacement parts. And if we can upgrade any of the parts on here to better last, we find the weakest link on all the different bikes. And all of them have a different weak link. And they're all custom built in some way for me. Some of them are based off of a commercially available frame because, again, they're recumbent style bikes. But with all the dog sled equipment and power assist motors, they become extremely customized. Some of them are totally built from the ground up for my purpose, but to keep them in compliance with every bike trail, they really have to use all bike parts. So some people might say, why don't you build it with like ATV parts? The problem is, first of all, it would get too heavy, and the dogs would never be able to get their exercise when they want to pull. It would be too much resistance on them. Second of all, because then you run the risk of not being in compliance with the bike trail laws, because then it wouldn't be considered a real bike, and they could ask you not to bring it on the trails. So then what good is it? We're always, and plus it's harder to transport when you get heavier weight, harder to move when we get into a tight situation, and we got to pick up the back end of the bike, whatever the case may be. So that's why we're using all bike parts. Believe it or not, though, there are a lot of companies that make bike parts, and if you're resourceful enough, you can find almost the most craziest parts that you would think of. No, is there a billboard? Where? Yeah. Heck. Hope we're not venturing towards the city, but I don't think we are. Do you? Is that just a random billboard, or is that a house, or what is that? That's really bizarre, folks. You giving the people a view? I guess they can't see it. No, you know what that is, Rhett? That's a store. Like a liquor store or something. I think it's like a sign, like open, and you're getting the blue and red, I think, because it seems kind of quiet around here. But is this another bridge? Another bridge, folks. Yeah, so, I mean, we've come into situations, though, where we've rolled right into a town where we don't even know. So it's a big bridge. You giving people a view? Rhett? Cool. Yeah, so a big bridge, and we just look for anything that might be hiding out in there. And some water puddles under the bridge, but I usually don't. Oh, shit. That's a car. Car coming over top was a little scary right there. Water near bridges and where cars may have. What was it? Something dead?
Yeah, I think it was like a pigeon.
A pigeon?
Yeah.
That was weird. Yeah, I rode. We just saw a dead pigeon on the trail. It looked like where we could identify, and I put that right under the bike. Got to be careful because sometimes I'm on the bike that has 3 wheels, and that would have ran over it. When I don't want to do, but it was dead anyway. But trying to avoid the dogs from coming in contact with it. So, as I was saying, any water near that might come in contact with cars, I try to prevent the dogs from drinking, as you can imagine. If there's puddling water on a trail that doesn't have any real car access or runoff from cars, it's usually pretty safe. But we bring our own water, as I said, but sometimes the dogs will drink on the go. Really nice, folks. I've got to believe the temperature's now in the mid-60s. Everybody's running great. Getting like a musky smell. Bamboo? Is that what I smelled? It's like a musky. Did you smell that? Like a little musky, like a basement. Weird. You know, we like it when we come across honeysuckles and other floral-like scents. Now we got, looks like some houses to the left. Yeah, so I thought we were going to go a little more back into the forest, but still seems like there's activity on close by roads and houses, etc. This is Discover. I would rank this as a really good trail, though, because the surface is awesome, the width's awesome. Haven't seen any real hindrances so far. It's well labeled mileage-wise and looks well maintained as far as we can tell so far. Pretty random to see that dead pigeon in the trail. That's just bizarre. You think so? Got hit by a car? It's over the bridge. Once again, I am the WooFDriver, and you're live with us wherever you're viewing from the world. You're in Pennsylvania with me right now, probably 50 to 100 miles out of Philadelphia. Everybody knows of Philadelphia, or most people do. Have heard of that. It's a big city in Pennsylvania. Jeez. Yeah, we're getting a lot of moss, and we're using some high-powered lights. We can also run in cognito, for lack of a better description, using IR lights, kind of what you're seeing through now. But when we don't, what's that? Okay, okay. Maybe let's stop and give him a little water. Cool. You want to hand me the camera, Redsky? Got it. Cool. How we doing?
Tune said good. I didn't know what the.
Who?
Code says good.
Tune, great for you to join us. Thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying my explanation. I'm going to get up out of the driver's seat here and give you a view of Rhett, Water, and the dogs. We're at about 3 miles right now, folks. 65-degree night or so. Virtually no humidity. Pretty clear skies. I don't see a moon. I think we're out of the moon phase right now. And somewhere in Pennsylvania, towards Philadelphia, but probably a good 50 miles off. And I'm going to check in with Chris right now. So what I'm going to do is we use something called Glimpse. And Glimpse is a phone app. And it's 3 a.m., just so you know, folks. In case 3 a.m. where we are. So Glimpse will give him the opportunity to follow us and to see where we're at and how we're doing. What kind of tracks we're making, speed we're going. And he'll know where to meet us, just to check in on us. Technology is so wonderful in this regard. And any questions you may have, any comments, concerns, I'd be happy to answer them. Great. So he was just sent a glimpse. Really glad I can be doing this broadcast tonight, because a lot of places we go to, Crispy said thanks. He might be watching us, so he knew we sent it. A lot of places we go to, we don't have signal. Now, we've put on board some signal boosters, if you will. Rich is bringing the water over to Chase now to boost the signal, but depending on where you're at, sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. And like I said, I don't have my reading glasses on, so when Rhett gets the camera back in his hands, he'll tell me so I can give everybody shouts out. And that's Jag getting his water in. The dogs are funny. The way they drink is, especially when they're panting a lot, they'll drink some and then they take their air in. And what we let them do is we'll come around with a second help, and just to make sure, because sometimes they're breathing, because that's the way they cool. As you're familiar, dogs will pant a lot, and that panting, if you give them too much water too quick, they can actually bloat. So we take our time and we'll water them twice usually each stop, so they can get. We at least offer it to them twice. That's Princess back there with Rhett. That's Zorro. That's Chase. Jack says, no seconds for me. And I'm going to see if I can show you. This is the woods. Folks, if you could see this, it's pretty much pitch black, but you're seeing this because you're looking through night vision equipment, which, again, that's straight down the trail. Looks kind of wild because you're seeing the reflection that I'm not even seeing with my eyes, but we're seeing it through the night vision goggles, or the night vision scope that you're looking through of, I guess they're trail gates down there. I don't think that's eyes, but who knows? You want to take this, Rhett?
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you back to Rhett. And, I think there's one more comment. Matey, hope we said that right. Maddie, Matey. Thank you so much. Saying God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you as well. Okay, you guys ready? Come on, guys. Hike. And you'll see me give the command. A lot of people think the command is mush, but it's actually hike. It's what the real mushers say. So I've taught them all the sled dog commands because they really do come in handy. And I was explaining yesterday, if you caught us, I was explaining we did an adventure where we took Gigi out on the dog scooter to a horse track we run. But also, en route to that horse track, I had one of my pit crew members with me. Jim was driving Gigi, the Chinese Crested, and three of the dogs, and I had one of the dogs with me on the motorcycle. I changed off, so on the way back, another dog got to ride in it. But I was saying, as I was going around the corners, it's so cool because when I was teaching them on the motorcycle, I can say the commands, and they kind of know, oh, we're going in this direction. Is that already 49, 46? Cool. So that makes a little better than 3 miles right now, folks. And again, we're going to do between 10 and 20, probably more like 15. And a lot of that depends on where our support vehicle, Chris, can pick us up at, because we go in one direction. So he drops us off at one point, and we go out 10 to 20 miles. It's not like we go out 10 miles and then come back 10 miles. So we don't double run our path. This way, it's fresh sights and scents and sounds for the dogs all the time, and for us as well, so it doesn't become boring. Is that all bamboo? Wow. Something in that bamboo. And you know what lives in bamboo? Panda bears. So let's get the heck out of Dodge. Whoa, is something trailing us? I was making a joke about that, but Chase is, they're all hunters. They're prey-driven. Huskies are very prey-driven. Chase is the most alert, and all the dogs key off of him. And he had his ears up, his nose in the air, and he was pretty keen, leaning to the right side, looking for that. Just running over a branch now, just checking everything. So whatever it was, probably veered off, got out of our way. A lot of times we'll run into a lot of deer. We haven't seen anything, have we? Nothing. If you checked out a lot of our other videos, 2 weeks ago, we were on the NCR Trail, which stands for the North Central Railroad. That's another Rails to Trails trail. And that was pretty cool because Abraham Lincoln had actually ridden the train on those tracks when they were still active, before they were, of course, lifted and became a trail for bikes and hikers and bikers and all that stuff, and even sled dogs like me. But Abraham Lincoln had ridden that trail twice, once in route to give the Gettysburg Address, and the other time, unfortunately, when he was assassinated, his casket or coffin rode that trail. So pretty lot of history there. But I was mentioning that because we looked to the right of us and we saw a skunk running with us. He was way over. The dogs didn't pick up on him. I don't think he felt too threatened, so we didn't get sprayed. But it was pretty wild. We want to avoid contact with any wildlife as much as possible. We've never truly made any contact on the bike like this, but we've come close, and we want to leave it undisturbed. As I said, we've seen bear in the past, and what we think was a bobcat, porcupine, snakes, and turtles, and all kinds of critters. Luckily, in this part of the country, we don't have to contend with any gators or crocodiles or anything like that. So there's no real predatory animals, such as when you get out west, you get cases of moose. And moose, unfortunately, kill dogs. They'll just get spooked or cut across a trail, and they can step on the whole team, basically, and take a bunch of dogs out. So the mushers, or people that are running dogs out there, have to be aware of that. I did some professional dog sledding in Banff, Canada, and right through the Canadian Continental Divide. And it was pretty interesting. The musher was explaining to me about the moose situation there. That was his biggest concern out on the trail, and that's all year long. They don't hibernate, obviously, so summer, winter, whenever you're running dogs, you have to be careful of that. And we're fortunate enough. I mean, we could have deer actually come out on us, and like a deer in a headlight, the saying goes, they could get a little confused, and it's possible they could run into us. Not as likely, and it wouldn't be as detrimental as a moose, but it could be pretty bad. We got like a lot of vehicles at this house. Just whenever we get near a house, we like to go as fast as we can to get away from it, as I said. But seems like a pretty bright, some street lights there. Seems like a shop kind of house. Is he away from us? Yeah, we got a cat. If you were watching us, like I said a couple weeks ago on the NCR Trail, we had a cat. Okay. Plug it into your thing. Can you do that?
I don't know where. You still got 20 minutes remaining, and you're at 118 broadcast time.
Yeah, 20% remaining. But you don't know where what?
I know where the cord is.
Okay.
And it's hard for me with that.
Okay. Well, we'll do it when it gets down to 10%. Okay, so we're probably going to just rebroadcast. We might get cut off here, folks, but we're having a good time. And again, I don't know how many of you are watching them. Last I checked, it was like 10 or 15 or something. But I like documenting this for ourselves, and me explaining the situation again is great for people that might look at this video a day, a month, a year, 10 years from now. Can learn from it and see what we were up to, etc. So I do invite you to always go to the alldognetwork.com. It is just All Dog Network. All the rebroadcast of these videos can be easily found and perused at your leisure. 45 and a half. Kind of cool they got them every half mile, the markers. You don't see that much. Now we'll get a house to our right. Get into a road crossing. Train tracks, actually, folks. And a road. So got a little bit of a convergence of everything here. Yeah, it looks pretty wide to my left. Yeah, looks pretty wide here, folks. So I'm going to try to take this. Come on, guys. Now this is more stone, so it's left or right better?
Either way, I think.
I'm going to go to the right here, folks. Come on, guys. Okay, I approached. Back dogs.
Oh, pretty.
Okay. Tell me when she's ready.
Do you want me to get out, check the card?
Yeah, you might as well.
Well, let her
Look,
get that.
coming through?
Yep.
Okay. Jag good?
Yep.
Okay, folks.
And I'll get out.
Okay. Rhett's going to give you a view. Okay, you want to just go?
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Less of a bump where I'm at. It's just a cup in the road he's kicking. Tell me when I'm good. Okay, come on, guys. Easy. Got a little bit of a dip, folks. Whoa. Crossing the road next to the tracks. Is that a Schuylkill River Trail? Okay. Come on, pretty. She good? Show people the gates.
Yeah,
Come on.
Good.
Good jag. Hey, let me plug you in. Hold the bike. Give me that cord. Good deal. Cool. Okay, folks. Watch your bike doesn't roll, Bert. Okay, let me get by you a little bit. Okay, folks. So what's that? I'll do that one. Let me see where he's got this. Yep. Let me. Okay, got that there. Now, how are you going to bundle that up so it doesn't fall in? Good. Okay, just watch that. Okay, it shouldn't say low battery anymore. If it does, let me know. That means we're not plugged in. But so, as you can imagine, folks, these long broadcasts require extra power. What's the matter?
The cable or accessory is
Yeah.
not certified and may not work reliably with this phone.
Okay, let's just see what happens.
Okay, but I can post this one, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, hold that cable up so you don't get tangled. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, here we go, folks. Hike. So, I did want to also mention that there's so many people that make this happen. I know I don't mention her much, but Melissa is back at our main WooFDriver headquarters, and she's probably not tuning in right now. She reviews a lot of these videos and actually publishes them to the All Dog Network and to the All Dog Network YouTube channel. And she's responsible for getting a lot of the content out to everybody, because I don't know how much you know about WooFDriver, but I've got about 30 websites, all dog related. I celebrate dogs every day. They're my favorite. I just live, breathe, and always thinking about dogs. And because there's so much content coming in, I mean, we have people that write poetry for us about dogs, people that do stories that I dictate in some ways through my blog on the WooFDriver Project, as well as people writing books for us, and all about what we do right now on the fictitious level, but we hope to have some training books out in the near future. And you've probably heard of the music that's produced that we do. I mean, just there's so many parts to WooFDriver that I'm serious about this. It's probably one of the biggest, most focused dog projects anywhere ever done in the world. And it's kind of cool because it's small enough that I can give everybody personalized time communicating like I'm doing here, but big enough that we can curate all this content or handle all this content and have it produced under my watchful eye and direction and get it out to you. Melissa's responsible for a lot of that. So kudos and thank you, Melissa. Hopefully you're watching this. probably asleep now. She was hard at work today, and she also has a he's stopping to sniff. She has her best friend.
Starting to say your connection is weak.
Okay, that's fine. Hopefully we're still. So, come on, Jason. So yeah, if we do lose you, the connection's weak. Come on. So Melissa actually has a senior dog, her best friend, Daisy May.
10% battery, man.
Okay, so unplug that plug on the bottom again and plug it back in and see if.
Did we flip it around? Or?
Yeah. Did it say anything?
I flipped it around and nothing came off.
Okay, so it should be good now, hopefully. If it wasn't charging, you would get that signal. But if we do lose you, folks, we'll leave it.
Still came back low battery, 10%.
Okay, that's okay. That means it's charging. If you didn't see that cable accessory. But if we do lose you, folks, we'll fire it back up. We'll put another phone in use. But I wanted to mention that Melissa has a senior dog, Daisy May. Daisy May is 16 years old, and she does a lot of really cool stuff with Daisy May. And her and I are on the same school of thought that the more activity you can give the dog, cautiously, especially as they get older, the better they will, their body will perform for them. So their joints will stay mobile, and they won't get sedentary issues. So she actually does water therapy, which is an underwater treadmill, and she's mentioned that she hopes to do a live broadcast sometime from the facility she goes to. Very interesting, and as our dogs age, we look for the safest and best ways to keep them active, and she's found a lot of those ways. So she's an expert at that, and hopefully she'll share that with everybody sometime in the near future on the WooFDriver channel here. But besides that, she does working for the WooFDriver and with the WooFDriver. Is there anything up in that tree?
I think it's just cobwebs.
Okay. One of silk cocoon nest or something. But she brings her dog in every day to work, Daisy May, and it's an awesome that she can do that. And I'm so happy that we have a facility that allows that, as well as Daisy's a great dog. We love her there. So Melissa's there more than me. So actually, Daisy. Melissa wants me to put on the payroll, and I might have to sometime. Because Daisy really motivates her, too, by being there, so it's all great. So, but there are a lot of other people involved in what I call the WooFDriver project, and you witness some of them here on the WooFDriver channel, the hosts of our different programs, as well as people that you don't see producing the music, and as I said, the poetry and the books and the different stories. And Rhett and Chris, you see, but they're my main people for doing a lot of these activities too, and keeping the equipment running with Chris. And the list is too long to name. But by the way, if you do go to my website called Rough Hour, RUFFHOUR, you'll get a lot of our videos that we made that were similar to this. They weren't shot live, but they're kind of candid videos of us talking, and it gives you an inside view of what we do. But I mention this because there's a page there that has the WooFDriver cast, and that's a lot of the pit crew members that I call them the WooFDriver pit crew, like a racing pit crew team. And it's a lot of the members that have contributed along the way. And from alumni, and the alumni I'm calling the people that are not involved with us anymore, just, moved on to other things, to all the current crew. So a good way to learn more about the team members. Yeah, it'll tell you before it ends, though.
Yeah, well, okay.
Did it say anything yet?
129.
Yeah, they've been letting them go. The videos go longer, so I don't know if it's going to end or not. But we'll keep it going. And again, we can restart the feed. Facebook's so cool because what they do is they tell you that the videos end. They give you usually 90 minutes, but lately it's been going a little longer to broadcast. And then you can just restart another feed if you want to continue on your broadcast. So Princess getting a little bored with the run sometimes. She'll drop back, and it's not so much her being tired, because we will stop for any time she's tired, but it's more for the just that, what else? What needs some more excitement? So if there was grass on the trail, that would be excitement for her. She loves it because the grass is more porous, and it'll hold a lot of the scents. It's like hair, if you will, hold a lot of the wild animal scents. So that will motivate her. This sign says, we got a sign here, folks. Caution, target range nearby. We've run into that before, too. It says caution, target range nearby. So haven't heard any firing at night, and hopefully they're not waiting for us to do it. But, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Usually in a lot of relatively secluded places, they will have target ranges. And that's more or less to let you know you might hear them firing. Not so much that they're going to be firing at the trail. At least that's our experience. And wishful thinking, maybe. Got another half-mile marker, folks. We're at 45 right now. So that means we've got 5 miles in. Just crossing a little better than 5. Yeah, so we're probably 4.5 miles. And we're 3 in the morning. We were trying not to ride through the sunrise, but we might. I mean, the sunrise is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but kind of like to be in my bed when the sun rises. We've been out here on the trail many a times when it's risen, and it's cool, but you just feel like you lost a day or something when you didn't get to sleep. And Red is shining the light and perusing the woods just to see, because we're on, there's a hillside to our right, and just to make sure nothing's lurking up there, like bobcats. They say bobcats, big cats, will attack sitting on top, perched up there. When they see their prey, they'll jump down. Chances are they're not going to jump on a sled full of dogs, but who knows? So I don't think it's an issue. Good boys, Aro. So I'm giving some motor. The dogs are chilling a little bit right now. So when the dogs dictate the pace, which they always do with us, they run the best. If I'm trying to get them to get some sprinting speeds in, it'll wear them out quicker, and I'm not trying to do that because